we recently had an amazing message in the church where we were again considering that incredible story when King David invites his the guy who should have been his mortal enemy Mephibosheth, and because he was the offspring of the previous king, and so anyone who stood for the kingship of Saul should really have stood for Mephibosheth and against him, but instead David, who is the God-anointed king, is secure enough to invite Mephibosheth to his table, and not just to invite him once as a gesture of goodwill, but to invite him in perpetuity. He will always have food at his table, which is such an incredible point for all of us. And welcome to the simple truth from the Word of God. So this is in 2 Samuel 9, and such an amazing picture. And in the message we hit on some things, but some things we could not talk about. And this is something very powerful, because David, with that continuous invitation of Mephibosheth, where he always ate at David's table in the future, all throughout his life, he could come there and eat there and be present with the king and be present with the king's sons and generals and the important people, and I don't know, foreign dignitaries, sitting around and looking around and saying, who is that? Yeah, that's the king's son. He is next in line. Oh yeah, okay, I see. And who is that? Well, that's the king's counselor. Oh yeah, I see. Okay. And who's that guy? Well, he's a wealthy merchant, and he's one of the great fiscal powers in the kingdom. Oh, I see. And who is that? And well, that is the previous king's son. Actually, he would be the rightful ruler to the throne had God not anointed David over him. And actually, and why is he sitting like that? Well, he's a cripple. And so why is he here? Nobody knows. David just invited him, and he's always eating here. Oh. It's like this such a different table. It's not the kind of table that you would expect, and that's like the powerful message that we see there, because this table, David is saying, by that statement, by that invitation, David is saying, my table is a different kind of table. My table is not the kind of table that you would expect from a king. It's not a table of glamour and importance and high power, and it's not like Mephibosheth is the exception somehow. And no, Mephibosheth is in a way the rule. There is no one else like him at the table, but him being there constantly is saying something very important. And David is making that statement because he knows the heart of God. Despite his failure, his many failures, his weaknesses, David knows the heart of God, and God has invited us just like this to his table. He's, like you would look around at God's table and you would see there, I don't know, like Michael the archangel is there, and he's a good reason for him to be there, and there are seraphs and other angelic beings and very powerful creatures that we know nothing about. And then there are great heroes of faith like the Apostle Paul and the Apostle John and whoever else, and John Chrysostom, like the great preacher of the 300s, I think in Constantinople, and just amazing people, and then there you sit and there I sit, and someone would say, and who is that? Well, that's like I don't know why that person is here. And we would say, I don't know why I am here. But the reason we are there is that God's table is the table of grace. And God has invited us to this amazing table, to his table, which is so different. And he's saying, by our presence, he is saying to the angels, he is saying, look, this is the kind of table I have. This is the kind of fellowship I have. This is the kind of life I have, and I am feeding you here at the table of grace, and this is your place. And I'm just going to refer to Hebrews 13, 9 and 10, and just read those verses, and I'm sure God will speak more to you about this amazing topic. And just wanted to bring that up again because it is not worth forgetting. And God bless your day with that. Just feast at the table of grace.